Hello, everybody. It is March 15th, 2018, and welcome to Super Soldier Talk. I'm James Rink, and today we have another exciting show. I do want to apologize for the delay of posting any of the content. So this, obviously, it's not March 15th when this is published. Part of the issue is I got banned on Facebook, so I was concerned that they were going to delete my YouTube account, so I had to hire somebody to back up all the material before I upload anything else. They're blocking videos that have anything that are discussing false flags and crisis actors. In my previous interview, we discussed the Parkland shooting, and this interview, I'd like to go into that a little bit more. And of course, I want to talk a little bit more about that, but I also want to introduce the guests. So let me go ahead and bring Jessica on. Jessica Ariel Marrocco. Her website is Readings by Ariel. She is a psychic, intuitive clairvoyant, and she will be sharing information from her perspective. Jessica, are you there?
Hello, James. How are you? Thanks for having me on the show again.
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. And is there anything you want to add to that?
Other than people can reach me through Readings by Ariel. That's ARAEL.com. If
Okay,
they're
I'll be
interested
sure.
in talking to me.
Yeah, I'll be sure to put the link to that. And of course, we got Peter with us, Peter the Insider. He works for the ACO, the Alien Contact Intelligence Organization, or the Advanced Contact Intelligence Organization. And Peter, I guess your perspective is through an ET alien liaison with these different extraterrestrial groups, interdimensional groups, as well as parallel realities, or I guess what you call alternate realities.
Yes, you are right.
Okay, so and I assume you also get your information clairvoyantly or through your dark web database. So we're going
Yeah, you are right.
Okay. Yeah, so I do want to mention that, okay, so I have some information about, from QAnon. Of course, right now, QAnon has produced a lot of quality content, but some of the information he talks in riddles. For instance, he is hinting that there's, I'm assuming we're talking a man, but it could be a woman. They are hinting that there's probably going to be a class action lawsuit due to all the censorship, in particular focused on the censorship algorithm. So I was just wondering, and of course it appears this algorithm is across multiple platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So I guess, Peter, do you have any information about the suppression of free speech? Any ideas what's going on?
Yeah, so once again, I want to agree that everybody who is or will be watching this, and there is, and that's the most part, the basic part of the problem. There is AI who created the algorithm, because technically the AI took the control over, and it reached the point. We wanna name it point of no return. They created. The beings. Doesn't matter if they are aliens, hybrids, crossbreeds, or people. Mankind people, and they reached. Respectively, they crossed the point of no return, and AI created these algorithms, and AI believe, if you want to call it that way, that it can do it your way. This is my own way how to do the stuff, not better, the best, and that's big difference. Only one single word, but big difference. Not better, the best as it can be done. And that's a problem, because AI is not a living organism. AI is only AI. It's like a machine. And that's a problem. So this is it. AI created that. Okay,
Peter. So it appears that, more specifically, who implemented this? Is this
No,
just
no, 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 no. You are not right. You are not right. AI is in total control. So they lose control. That's the problem, my friend. They
wow?
control, yeah, they lose control a long time ago, and they don't know because they created that. And oh, that's a problem. What should we do? What the hell should we do? This is it, because
Well,
AI took the control over. It's like this proverb: a revolution eats its own children. Do you know what I mean? This proverb.
hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is
So
what happened. This
well,
is what happened.
QAnon seems to think that some of these platforms are going to collapse under these illegal activities, but I guess it's not like they're performing something illegal. It's almost. I mean, it is, in my opinion, illegal. But
But my friend,
what is your thought?
you are not so right, because tell me, what is legal, or technically who as a person or intelligent entity is legal or not legal? Do you know what's the difference? How they will formulate the laws. Once they will formulate laws, this is kosher, this is halal, if you want to call it that way. I mean, like, this is okay, not a problem. You are not, you are in completely okay, totally okay. Once they change formulating of the laws, you are a criminal. That's a problem. End of the story. I mean, for them who will be criminals or criminalized, if you want to call it that way, a big problem. But very simple. End of story.
So is
Okay.
Facebook aware of this? I mean, are they aware that the AI program is overriding some of their systems, or are you saying that they're aware of it and they're allowing it?
Who? Sorry?
Facebook is Facebook.
Facebook. Of course, because, but that's the problem once again. They can't stop it because AI took the control over long time ago. We are talking about, like, no, we had what? No, we have 2018, so it's like 7, maybe 8 years ago.
But why now? Why are they censoring, information like James is putting out right now?
Because in previous years, I'm talking about like 3, maybe 4 years before. I mean, 3 or 4 years ago, before this information, there wasn't, how can I say that, like, so sensitive materials published. Do you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
now the huge amount of alternative uh, media, I mean, especially internet media, is spread it all around the world, and that's a big problem.
You told us this would happen, Peter. You told us that the AI was coming in, but you didn't tell us how we can stop it from happening anymore.
Because we can't.
So what happened? I mean, at some point we get out of this problem because things change later.
Yes, at the point of transformation to 5D, what will be, help me, 2022.
Okay, so we have a few years to go. Go ahead, James. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So I do want to mention my backup channel is going to be at BitChute, which is a blockchain similar torrent website, which I don't believe can be censored. At least I hope it doesn't. As far as the Facebook takedown, I was told that I had some copyrighted music videos on there from a couple years ago. They gave me a 3-day notice. I put a help ticket in on the 4th day. On the 5th day, they deleted my account. Typically, they're supposed to give you a 7-day ban and then a 30-day ban. So they went from stop to delete without giving me a chance to go fix anything. So I mentioned this to you, Peter, that
Yes,
they
yes.
follow their own policy. And you said that there were these girls or women, I should say.
I send it to you the updated list. Do you
Yes.
receive that? Okay.
Do you want me to give the names?
Of course, all of them.
Ma-
The young women and the young men. You should
Okay.
name all of them.
Maxine Caulfield,
Yeah.
Chloe Price, Rachel Amber, Victoria Chase, Kate March, Mark Jefferson, Nathan Prescott, Warren Graham, Anthony North, Elliot Carter. So these individuals, are they all from that base in the Czech and Slovak Republic area?
Yes, they are not from the bases. So what was their story? And Mark is not Mark, it's March, as a how can I say that, as a moon, regular moon in US. Do you know what sorry, in English? Do you know what I mean? As a third March sorry, as a third month. Do you know what I mean? Because you read it
Yeah,
in such
the name sounds like the month of March rather than the name March.
Exactly. So they were took what they have, like the same in their fate. The fate because they were stolen from different parts of US at the age of only 6 years, when they were only 6 years old, and they were settled to Middle Europe, and they was tortured by crazy stuff, and that was the problem. Unknown, how can I say that? They were hypnotized, teleportized to US, to being in US, but most part of their lives they were physically, I mean, in Middle Europe, in, we call it V4, so it's like Czech, Slovak Republic, Poland, and Hungary. And that was the problem, because they created, the Monarch solutions created, how can I say that, schizophrenia, so split it persons, in them. And they were settled normally in being in or living US lifestyle, but then they were confronted with living or lifestyle, if you want to call it that way, in Middle Europe. What's totally different. Everything is different. I mean, like thinking, the way of thinking of people, the buildings, the how can I say that, mentality, I don't know, the roads, the houses, everything is different. And they got in fear in combination with everything what they went through. And that's the problem, or if you want to call it that way, the main part of problem, that they got them, I mean, people from Monarch got them in fear. And okay, and what will be healing for them? Okay, the drug Cortexyphan, and then became heavily addicted to Cortexyphan. Yeah, this is it. What am I talking about? That's
Thank you, Peter. Yeah. Well, so these individuals were opening up portals using their astral abilities, apparently, in this Monarch base to contact
basis, my friend, basis.
Bases to contact Nazis. Do you have any info? What is the repercussion of communicating with these Nazis?
Because they wanted to do this for them. I mean, they forced. No, I'm not right. They fooled these. I mean, people from Monarch fooled these young people. Technically, they were children, respectively teenagers, when they did that, and they fooled them that they did right. I mean, they did things for good reason, if you wanna, or good purpose, if you wanna call it that way. And they opened many portals to get the Nazis in. I mean, into our reality. And now they are, how can I say that, like confused. They are feeling like lost, you know, and they are, of course, they are seriously pissed off at the people from Monarch. So it's like, holy crap. And they are trying to fix things what they did, but I was like, this is wrong view at the whole thing, because you can't fix what was done. What was done, it's done. End of story.
You can't shut these portals down?
No, I am not talking about the portals. I am talking about this butterfly effect. They believe that they can reverse many stuff in order to reverse the effects, the side effects of butterfly effect. But I was like, that's wrong point of view, because once you want to do this, you will get even for more and more and deeper mess.
Can you explain what the butterfly effect is, Peter, please?
Of course, the butterfly effect is like, you know, you will do one tiny thing. It's like the wave of butterfly wing on yeah, this is it. The wave of butterfly uh, wings in North America can do hurricane or something like that. Yeah, chaos and theory. This is it. In I don't know, in Caribbean or something like that. This is it what I'm talking about.
Okay, so it appears different variations of the timeline. I'm assuming that's what they're focusing on. Is it
Yeah, this is it what I'm trying to. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So let's see if I get back here. Peter, can you explain exactly what so these people, all these people, I'm assuming, have this Cortexyphan addiction, and they reached out to you for some assistance because they wanted some kind of technology to replicate the drug. Is what they needed, the drug, or they want?
No, they wanna no. They wanna exact the opposite. They wanna how can I say that, to be released from the addiction. And that's the problem, because they can do it only via meditation. And they made, I mean, they from people from Monarch, they made the craziest stuff what they can, because they created, as in the movie Inception, it's like this matryoshka, what is babushka lady, you know, it's like the smallest doll, and in bigger doll, something like that.
That was the dream within a dream within a dream.
Yeah, exactly. In the movie Inception, yes. And they created hundreds, maybe thousands of layers of these kind of imaginary worlds. They were taken in during this. During the influence of drug, and they always created certain situation. For example, it was the war, right? And they, for example, just one situation, and they were soldiers. They lose the battle, so they were forced to run out, to surrender, to run out, and they were shot, killed all the kind of bad stuff. Second situation, or how can I say that, second point of view, they were the soldiers of another army who won the battle, and they so in first situation they were haunted. In second situation they were hunting, so they were like the power ones, the more power ones, if you want to call it that way. And in the third situation they were only observing this, and it was in all kind of different situations, bad, good, neutral situations. And that's a problem because they saw so many crazy stuff, and especially this torturing, crazy, like, I don't know how can I call it. And because they were so many people, they were tortured. I mean, not for real, but in these dream worlds. And once again, they were tortured. They were the ones in second situation. They were the ones who tortured another people, and they were just observers in third situation. So it's extremely complicated and hard for them to get released from this addiction for Cortexyphan, and they told me that they've got these visions of war, ongoing war all around the world, and they told me only one thing, that people shouldn't be involved at the protests. For example, in Middle Europe are tons of protests. In Western Europe, protests against in Middle Europe, protests against the government. In Western Europe, protests against immigrants from Middle East. I mean, like Iraq, Iran, and Iraq, Syria, Iran, and from Africa. And now these huge protests in US. I mean, the high schools. Am I right?
About gun control.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There are more than 3,000 of schools. I think, like, if I am not mistaken, there are more than 3,000 of schools. I mean, high schools. They are in protests, and this is it. What I am talking about. That they wanna just, they wanna say. I mean, these people, they wanna say only one thing: not to go to the protests, because you are fighting, and once you are fighting, you can't, how can I say that, you can't fight for the peace. It's nonsense.
Peter, I have a question. A friend of mine who works at a drug rehabilitation facility.
Sorry.
I have a question. A friend of mine who works at a drug rehabilitation facility in LA told me that a couple of SWAT team came in to tell them about this new drug on the street called Narcan, Narcan. And she said that people are overdosing. They're thinking it's another drug. And it was supposedly created in China and now in Mexico. So is this the same drug that you were talking about regarding these children?
No, it's not Cortexyphan, but it's, how can I say, like some sort of generic of Cortexyphan.
Okay.
But generic, but how can I say that? Enhanced, like way much more boost. It's something like nitro for engine. During this illegal street races, something like that. So I know about this, and I was shocked once they go with this to the streets. Yeah, I was like, holy crap, are you serious? And just by the way, these people were children, because now they are Now they are 30. Yes, I mean 29. They will be 30 this year.
These girls that you're talking about are about
Not
30
not
years
only
old.
not only girls. I mean,
Yeah, the people that were used for this experiment are now about 30 years
yeah,
old.
yeah. But they were many. They were many more of them. The youngest one, they are like what, 20? No, 95. So they are like 20, 22, 23. You know, because of date of birth. And the oldest ones, they are like 35, 36, something like that. And this is it because they were confused, desperately want to talk about the situation and all kind of stuff. And they realized what they did, I mean what they caused. But I was like, it's not your fault because you was fooled, you know, and drugged. So what's your problem, you know? But I want to tell you something that because you told me, okay, I need to talk about this publicly. You told me that the one, I mean the main one who contacted me, she did very crazy stuff to you. And yes, of course, she did unwillingly, of course, because she was what? What was the okay? The exact quotation. I was exploring unknown world of uh, unstoppable uh, abilities. Yeah, well, that's exact quotation of Maxine Caulfield, right?
Okay, that's what she said. You talked to her about me.
Yeah,
Okay, what about there was another Chloe or something as
yeah.
well?
Chloe Price talked to me about you too, about very bad stuff. That your son is in danger, and he should break off with his actual girlfriend because she's from Germany, and definitely not allow him to travel to even to Europe, not to Germany especially, you know.
And she
Okay.
probably sees the future timelines in her
Yeah,
experiment.
yeah. Because there in Europe, it's like, how can I say that? It's action. Do you know the principle, basic principle, action and reaction? And because of that, I mean this principle, uh, because there are lots of migrants in Europe, it's like almost 2 millions in 3 years, and there is not neo-Nazis. It's not true. They are true Nazis. I mean, they are worshipping Nazi Third Reich, Hitlers, and all kind of these people around him, and the dates, exact dates, and all
Are
kind of
they
the stuff.
actual Nazis from the parallel universe? They came over in the
To be
base
perfectly
bases.
honest, they are acting like normal people, if you want to call it that way, with some crazy ass opinions and sympathizations. But from my point of view, they are perfectly fitted Nazis from parallel reality. Yes.
So how do they feel about me going to Germany? Because I may go there
Oh,
myself.
don't do that.
Why?
Because they
What
are
are they
talking
going to
about
do?
dangers.
Yeah,
They
but
are talking
they
about tanks, I mean panzers. They are talking about artillery shooting to these fortresses and all kind of stuff. So it's bad.
but
Bad.
they do that in the U.S. too. I mean,
Of course, of course.
so I have to be worried about where I'm going. It shouldn't make a difference. Either I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it.
Yes. But technically, you shouldn't go to help me these states
Well, Munich,
Texas and Louisiana, definitely not.
but there's people living there right now. But yeah, there's things going on in Texas for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there's these vampire things that I'm seeing over there in Louisiana.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah, what the hell are those things? Jeez.
Yeah, but in Louisiana, in Louisiana swamps, they are extremely crazy creatures.
Right.
And nobody believe that they exist, but they actually exist because there are many photos and video footages and tons of video footages, do you know what I mean?
Perhaps like a creature taking a bite out of a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are right.
Strange.
Why do you think it's strange? I don't think it's strange. I mean,
well, can you briefly explain, Peter, what's in those swamps? Is it a reptilian creature? Is it
that's the stuff. I don't know.
Well, all right.
Because they are simply okay. What do we exactly know? They are. How can I say that? Not. I mean, like they are like not well done experiments from Umbrella. I mean, like mutants. Okay. Because it's like TV virus, Uroboros, and all kind of these viruses, and they were just left behind.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about like what 50 feet long alligator, if you want to call it that way, but it's not the exact word because alligator is alligator, and this creature can stand to 2 feet at 2 feet. And it had tail, just by the way. It had tail. So it's like dinosaurs, some sort of, if you want to call it that way. And one truck driver was eating because he was hungry and, all kind of the stuff. And he pissed this creature off. And he was just like, he was almost unable to speak, and what was his story? The upper part of his trailer was simply eaten, like missing, and he was like, this creature did that, and he showed the local authorities the port photos he took at his cell phone, and they were like, good photo montage. We like the jokes, and it wasn't the joke. Okay.
Yeah, Peter, let's go back to this issue with these children, adults now, but I do want to mention there were 3 groups of children initially. Some of them were basically taken from all over the world, Milabs, and then had their memories erased and put back. Some were there full time, and I don't know what the 3rd group was. Peter, you want to comment on that?
Yeah. So first one, they were all the time in Middle Europe. Second one, they were traveling all around the world, and third one, they were like in the US, but the main part of experimental projects were done in Middle Europe. That's the stuff. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And now they were trying to reach, believe it or not, Middle European mainstream media to talk about this stuff publicly.
The basis.
And sorry?
The basis.
The basis, the Monarch solutions, the fact that private airjet. I mean, uh, the private uh, airplane from. I mean, what is belonging to Polsarin was landing regularly in regular time in Vienna, in Bratislava, what is capital city. Vienna is capital city of Austria. Bratislava is capital city of Slovakia, and Prague is capital city of Czech Republic. And they were okay. It's not a problem, okay? And there are physical evidence that this airplane was there, and the Polsarin was physically. I mean, he directly he was checking for the results of experiments, and he was talking to these children because they were children, respectively teenagers at the time, and especially the stuff what they did to these people, and what was the main factor why they really released all this stuff, at least in this episodic game did
Life
by
is strange.
Telltale Games. Yeah, by Telltale Games, Life is Strange. The main reason was, how can I say that, sexual abuse, but not physically, mentally in these dream worlds, and it was huge trauma for them. These girls were kidnapped and captured in the room, and that's my question. What do you think at the of the number? It's also called dark room, and it's 303 respectively. Once it was compromised, it was like 101. It was compromised. Okay, they made 202 and all kind of stuff, but always it was dark room, and they were forced. These young people were forced to do crazy stuff. I mean, to make erotic shoots. I mean, like, photo shoots, and then to manage the weird, I mean, the twisted porn. I mean, videos like sex tapes, if sex tapes, if you wanna call it that way, and they were forced to watch that.
These are
And,
all underage children?
not
When
children,
they were
not
children at the
children.
time? How old were they?
Yeah, no, not children, but teenage. But that's the problem. But they were not okay with that, and they were. How can I say that? It's like, okay, I don't like this, but I know that I need to do this, but I don't know how to stop this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're under their control.
Yeah, you are right. And this was it, that they were doing this crazy stuff to, I don't know, crazy amounts of girls. Boys, there were only 3 or 4, but they did this, I don't know the exact name, the proper name, uh, the this also called sex tapes. Okay, I mean, I don't want to say okay, but there were only few girls and boys, because it was a real deal sex, okay, not fake one, if you want to call it that way. But it was like, it was not in porn. Yes, it was, but I mean, it looks so real that nobody will, like, expect that, this is not a porn. This is like two people having sex, and there is a hidden camera. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. But there were tons of girls, they were forced to get that. I mean, they were not forced because they were drunk and all kind of the stuff. And they made these photos. They were like, how can I say that? They were ordered for crazy amount of money. Uh, and some of them were normal, I mean colored, some of them were black and white, and there was this like play of light and dark, spots. So they were nude, but they were not explicit nude. Do you know what I mean? Like something like Helmut Newton did. Do you know what I mean?
But it's inappropriate because of their age,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
and because they didn't give consent.
yeah,
To
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely right. So this is it what they did, and they don't like that, and their psyche was, I mean, they made it. How can I say that? Broken at the time. So this is it. It was like play of shades and light and all kind of this stuff, and they told me that it was very what, like depressive, because they know that it's bad, but they don't know at the time how to release from that, because this he was adult, he was their art teacher, Mark Jefferson. He was like, uh-huh, he was in the control. I mean, I am in the control. Do you know what I mean? Something like that.
Hmm. Okay, Peter, can you comment what exactly, why these individuals reached out to me on Facebook? What did they want from me, and why my
Because
Facebook got banned?
because technically they send it encrypted, highly encrypted message to you, and Facebook, this algorithm, because it's not like Facebook employees, but this algorithm, uh, it was like, this is not a good message for you, bye bye. Do you know what I mean? Like that.
Why did it delete me? Why didn't it delete them?
Because they don't have a Facebook.
Oh,
So it was message. So it was message from the other side, if you wanna call it that way.
oh wow. Okay, and can you comment about my possible connection? Because you said that I might have actually been at this facility.
Yeah, because with Lincoln Clay, and Lincoln Clay with some young guy from Slovak Republic, from Trnava, what is 40 kilometers, 25 miles away from capital city Bratislava. U3 and with some other members of special unit extracted them physically from these facilities, underground facilities, because we are always talking about facilities, but it will be fair to talk about it right, because they are all of them are underground facilities, right?
So a rescue mission, just like with the Andromedan children.
Yeah.
Mm.
And of course they are pissed off at you. I mean, people from Monarch, they are very pissed off at you. It's normal.
So
Yeah.
Peter, was I there too?
Yeah, of course, but that's the problem, because Chloe Price and help me, and
Maxine?
Chloe and Maxine was talking to you in meditation, and you don't want to hear them because you are very pissed off at them. I mean, at least what they told me, because you lost so much friends because of them, and they tried to explain you how everything happened, how everything went, that it wasn't their fault and all kind of stuff. And that's the problem. And I know that it wasn't you as you, if you want to call it that way, that you grab a huge knife, I mean like 6 maybe 7 inches long knife, I mean a military knife, and you tried to stab them, I mean like, you know, to the corpse and all kind of the stuff. And it was like, that's not true, that's not the way how Jessica is reacting to the situation.
No, definitely not. No, I would just ignore them and tell them I wouldn't have anything to do with them, but no.
And do you know what's crazy? That third one, very good friend of these two, Rachel Amber, was actually stabbed. In second one, it's prequel to actually to Life is Strange. Is Life is Strange Before the Storm, and she was stabbed to the, it was like the right arm or something like that, to right hand, something, I'm not sure, but she was stabbed, and I was like, what the fudge? It's so strange. And actually, the guy, because it was the man who did that to her in the game, I was like, if you will be the guy with short hair and all kind of the stuff, is very similar to you.
Well, Peter, it's like they're doing this dream work, and they're going in and they're going through the multiple layers of dreams and altering and changing things that can bring in some unexpected aggression.
Yeah, but sorry for that. Do you know what Telltale games are about? That in normal games, any type of normal game, there is only one timeline. I mean, like continuous timeline. Telltale
Right.
games, not this kind of stuff. There is whole different type of stuff. It's like, how can I say that? At least 3 options: do, to do, or to say nothing, and at least 2 options: to do or and to do 2 different type of actions, or to tell 2 different type of stuff. Sometimes maybe to do 3 or 4, you know,
Right.
or to do nothing. And 1 or 2, there is a question mark that or question respectively, like how can I say that? Or exclamation mark that,
Right.
like, this action will, how can I say that, will affect the whole story, the storyline.
Right.
And once you will did this to the point, to this special point, the Rachel will be stabbed by this guy, very, very, very similar to you. Okay.
Well, Peter, what I know and what I understand about when people start going into alternate scenarios or start to go into a multiple dream sequence, if they don't show this in the movie, is that Men in Black will step in if you start messing with stuff, or other alternate beings that are not written in the original story can show up. And you can never expect that, right?
Sorry for that. It is like in ancient Greek dramas, also called Deus ex machina, when something went so complicated or so wrong that, and they're, what should we do now?
Right.
It's so crazy.
Now
And
you get that thing looking at you, right? They can watch what you're doing.
Yeah. You are right, but that's the problem. I mean, not your or mine problem or James's problem, their problem. I mean, how can I say that? These young people's problem, that Monarch leave them in this ditch, that they don't give them the option of also called Deus ex machina. Do you know what I mean? That's a problem, and that's the reason why they are so desperate. And they are like, and what should we do now? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that stabbing is probably from that by getting into these multiple dimensions of dream sequences, and
Yeah,
that stabbing probably created that scenario where it manifested, and like people don't realize, and they start playing with some things that they can open up doors.
but for example, and that was like, that was the point. When I'm talking about Rachel Amber, she can't stand it out anymore, and when she wanna kill herself in the real life with the overdosing from some, I don't know, some sort of
Pharmaceutical drug.
yeah, drugs or some, but I'm not talking about drugs as drugs, but I mean like some sort of medicos for sleeping or something like that, and that was the stuff that they find her, and they how can I say that, forced her to vomit it immediately, so she was okay. But I asked her, okay, but why you did that? And she told me the scars from stabbing were immediately gone, and they were covered by a tattoo. And do you know what's crazy stuff about that? That is, tattoo change its shape and color during some, how can I say that, height situation. I mean, like once she's happy, once she's sad, or do you know what I mean? These all kind of weird emotions. And
She's shape shifting.
you are absolutely right. I mean, not physically shape-shifting. I mean, like once she's normal woman, if you wanna call it that way or not. But this kind of, if you wanna call it that way, body decorations, they are changing in real time. If you wanna call it that way, that's a problem.
Okay, Peter. And I do want to mention a few things. Paul Serene is the head of Monarch Solutions. And his clone is Kevin Spacey, and that's what he looks like. And also the base appears. There's a TV show called Counterpoint, and I know, Jessica, you mentioned that. This scenario seems very similar to that, except in Counterpoint, it wasn't a Nazi parallel universe, but it might as well be. And the other thing is, Peter, you mentioned that there was a version of me at this facility that was experimenting on drugs, and I was a scientist. So at first,
Yes.
you say I was a soldier that rescued the children, then you said I was a scientist. Can you please explain what the deal is with that? Why is there two different stories here?
Yeah, that's the problem, because they did that. Once again, my friend, these, if you wanna call it that way, children, respectively young people, they were messing up with the time, exactly as in the game. So they created one, not storyline, timeline, if we wanna call it that way, and then they did another stuff, and complete different story from one point or to another, and they were, yay, what should we do now? And I was like, so don't mess up with the time. It's very simple stuff.
All right. Well, so essentially, this version of me is still down that base, experimenting away on these children. Is what?
Yes, this is it what I am suggesting. I mean, I am not right now. I am not suggesting it. I am. It's so solid fact. That's that's a problem.
Well, could he possibly escape the base and contact me? Would that even be possible?
Yes, but I strongly don't recommend to how can I say that, to face yourself, to meet yourself face to face, because Chloe Price told me it can cause a lot of harm, a lot of chaos, and all kind of this bad stuff, if you want to call it that way, because she faced herself, how can I call it the right way, as she was walking to these dormitories, you know, it was like from one side it was like mirror dormitories. One side it was huge campus. One side high school. Second one, I mean, like it was like left side, right side it was college, right? And she was walking, technically lurking around, and she was trying to hide girls. The poor girls, they want to make a big amount of money, respectively girls from, normal social situations, but they want to be famous, and that was her job. And she faced herself, and she was okay, this is okay, because she showed me the bubble. I was with her inside the bubble, inside this kind of globe, and we were inside it, and there were tons of these pieces of puzzle, and I was like, what should we do now? And she showed me that this, for example, look at this piece, yeah, and it was this particular timeline. And now once she saw this specific case, when she dragged the girl and she get her to the dark room, and they did all the kind of crazy photo shooting, she went so angry that she wanna kill actual herself from another point, timeline, from another point of view. And I am a big guy with a lot of power, and she's, I don't want to say she's short, but she's like what she's like 5'7", 5'8", something like that, and tiny. And I've got a big problem not to kill herself from another reality, because I was like, once you will kill yourself in another reality, you will kill yourself in actual reality. Are you completely fooled or what?
Peter, is that the same situation when they say a person has their doppelganger? Is that what it's like? Doppelganger?
Yeah. And that's the problem.
Okay, so that when people see their doppelganger, like I think it was some celebrities, some famous people had seen their doppelgangers and then died soon afterwards. Is that what happens?
Yeah,
like
and that's
Abraham
the problem.
Lincoln was one.
Yeah, and that's the problem, because he killed his doppelganger. Because he killed his doppelganger. It isn't about seeing one. Not facing. Not true. He was so mad that he killed his own doppelganger.
I do want to mention there was a story by I think David Wilcock talked about this. There was an experiencer at Montauk that went into another parallel universe and killed his father. And when he came back, he was immediately hit by a car. So there is some karmic implications by performing this action, even though it's a parallel universe. It's still
you are very right, my friend. Very right.
Or that movie Looper, where he keeps on going in the same situation, and then he has to tries to kill himself. Also in that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they never really quite get out of it.
Oh, okay.
But that's the problem, because they made. I don't want to say they improved this Cortexyphan, because they were so addicted. All of them were so addicted about that, and the problem is that Cortexyphan, LSD, also called mushroom extract, and DMT, the Italian farmers, I mean, the products, I mean, like 100% bio natural products and all kind of stuff, was taken away from Italian farmers, and this kind of shit, I wanna call it that way, shit, was injected into their products, and it went all over the Europe, and people eat that. Like in my, I'm talking about last what, 6 maybe 7 years, and
You
they
mean mushrooms?
no, I mean mushroom like ayahuasca and all kind of stuff. I mean hallucination mushrooms.
Are they being told that it's safe? Kind of like the ayahuasca's people are told it's safe. Do you think it's
Yes,
safe?
no. I mean, you are right, it is safe, but I am talking about
No,
all
I don't
kind
think
of.
it's safe, but some people do. I don't think so.
I am talking about the stuff they enhanced and advanced the drugs because they believe it's for good stuff, and I mean, misused the monarch misused their work, and they infected with these kind of drugs products, natural products, 100% clean products from Italia, and that's the problem. The people in whole Europe are eating these products like for 6, 7, maybe some sources are talking about 80 years, like from 2010, 11, maybe 12. We are not sure, and it's like, how can I say that? All of this was made because they know that there will be massive wave of mainstream media how can I say that, some sort of alternative media, and they will not, I mean, people will not believe mainstream media anymore, and they want people, I mean masses of people, believe mainstream media. So they did all kind of these crazy drugs. Do you know what I mean? They developed this to manipulate the people in Europe.
Well, Peter, we kind of need to move on here because I mean we just
Okay.
spent an hour on this question. But one more part. Will these individuals be willing to come forward and maybe on a future show to share their experiences?
I don't know because they are like kind of paranoid.
Okay, understandable. All right, and what I want to do is we're gonna have to save a lot of these questions for another time, but I do want to skip to the question number 15 on the list because this is related to what we're talking about, and it's actually a continuation from the last week. Last show we did, and that is the Parkland shooting, because this individual, Nikolas Cruz, was also on Cortexyphan, and apparently
Yes, you are right.
he was being experimented upon by, I guess, a school doctor, I think is what you claimed. So
Yeah, doctor. Yeah, doctor.
was it a doctor actually on campus that he was visiting?
Yeah, he
Okay.
was, but technically the doctor worked for Monarch.
Okay. Well, one of the things I didn't mention, and I think it's relevant and important to bring this up, is that a teacher recalled seeing the shooter on campus, and he was wearing a helmet, a gas mask, full tactical bulletproof armor. So the question is, when did he change out of the gas mask and riot gear, pull the fire alarm, escape with the rest of the students dressed as a civilian? Was that him? Was he dressed up in all this gear, Nikolas Cruz?
No, he wasn't.
Okay, so what is this teacher saying that she saw this? Is this another individual? Is there another shooter?
No, it's a false flag because we were talking about it last time, that there are also called victims. They uh, they were talking about 2 or 3 shooters, something like that. What is not true, because they don't wanna to get out of the fact that to get the fact to get to the public the fact that uh, he was dosed with Cortexyphan, because for example many NSA and CIA officers and agents are on Cortexyphan too, and they don't want to talk about that,
Which is like a steroid that shuts down all your fear.
Yep.
Hmm. So, who was this individual that was shooting up in this full riot gear? That wasn't Cruz. It was what, another Monarch
No,
agent in there?
I'm talking about the fact that Cruz was actually Monarch agent.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this person who has this riot gear. Who was this person
Okay,
dressed up in SWAT?
that's
shooting people?
that's the problem, that he was super soldier, out of control super soldier, if you wanna call it that way.
Yeah, you've already got that, but I mean, just looking at Cruz, I don't see how he can wear 40 pounds of full body armor and all this gear. I mean, he shot 160 rounds. And he had a rifle. So, how in the world was he? I mean, I guess you say he was a super soldier. So, what did he shapeshift?
Yeah, that's the problem, because he was shape shifted into this. He looked like tell me, ancient Siberian tiger. He's extremely heavy. He was extremely heavy. He was able to stand at um 2 legs and all kind of the stuff, but he was shapeshifted only in this suit. I mean, this heavy armor.
Okay, now I'm a little confused. You said a tiger, but then you said there's this armor. So, what is this, an armored tiger that was shooting people up?
Yeah, of course, because once again, he was kind of normal, looking like kind of normal student. Not normal, but do you know what I mean? Like young man. But he was shapeshifted when once he was inside the all these gear and all kind of the stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like this armor and all kind of stuff.
So he looked like a tiger if you took off his gas mask.
Yeah, but there is no. I don't want to say physical evidence, because there are physical evidences,
Huh.
tons of them, but no single photo or something like that, because they the also called Men in Black, what is sixth, just by the way, sixth division of ACIO, what we don't have fully under control, and we are not happy about that. They made also called blinking eyes. Do you know what I mean? Like erasing memories and deleting all the data from cell phones and all kind of bad stuff.
Right. Okay. Well, all right. That explains that. But can you explain, Jessica? Hold on, Jessica. There were the police officers were carrying this black duffel bag, and there's this video, and I'll play it in the clip. What apparently the Cruz was carrying this duffel bag, and it looks like it takes 2 people to lift it. So how did this 17-year-old kid do that, and what was in this armor? I mean, what was in the bag? I'm assuming it was probably armor, but do you have any information about that bag?
Yeah, but once again, first things first, he is super soldier. First one. Second one, he was shapeshifted to be a tiger, to look like tiger, sorry, and he had tremendous amount of power. And in this big bag, huge bag, there was a special kind of gear. I mean, like armor, then mm, very new and very best machine gun and all kind of stuff. But they don't
Wow.
want to report about that. They don't want to report about that.
I know, but how did that get on campus? Did because he apparently he got there on an Uber car ride. So did he? And I mean, he would have had two people how to carry it with him.
Yeah, you were right. But once again, all of this is, it should look like a normal day, if you want to call it that way, until the shooting. But it was because, how can I say that? These huge, I need to count it, 6 axle transporter, I mean army transporter, was driving from backyard. Yeah. And they were all this kind of equipment for him.
Oh, so Monarch was actually wanted him to do that?
Of course.
Oh, I thought this was all an accident, that he was accidentally
No. Once again, it was an accident. How can I say that? Okay, I got it. It was an experiment what accidentally twisted to very bad massacre. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Makes sense. And what about the police officers? They were told not to go into the campus. So were they working with the Monarch as well?
Of course.
Because, of course, right here is an image of Scott Peterson, and he was one of the sheriffs that showed up. And there's in the pictures with him and Hillary Rodham Clinton. Of course, I know you mentioned the Clintons were a product of Monarch Solutions too.
Yes, you are right.
Okay. Well, so I was going to ask, is that a coincidence that there's a picture of him with Hillary?
Of course, it's 100% coincidence. I love your style of humor. I love that.
Okay. All right. Jessica, you want to chime in? Is there anything you want to bring to the table about Parkland?
Well, I was just going to say briefly that I was trying to clarify and see if he was, when you said he shapeshifted, if he was in another dimension when that happened, and that no one saw it that way. So that was the only point that I was going to make. Otherwise, I think you guys covered it.
Yeah. So this is it.
Okay. Thank you, Peter. So no, we only have a few more minutes left, so we're going to have to be choosy here what questions to bring up. Did you want to go over what the stories about these underground bases, or maybe go into, how about Jessica? She had some experiences that we didn't get to last time. They would do that.
Yeah, we need definitely talk about the experiences, because all kind of this stuff is leading. I mean, the traces are leading to Monarch, and we need to get rid of them, definitely.
Okay. Did you want me to bring up there was someone with a friend of mine said that she witnessed a woman crossing a bridge where she lives in California. And as she was crossing over the bridge, she knew the way that she was walking was not normal, not human. And when the woman looked up, her eyes were all black, like no white in her eyes.
Okay.
And so I looked in my, my inner seeing, and I saw a man. He looked like he was an old-fashioned, like, silver miner, because that's who was around that area. Thought it was gold miner at first, but it's really silver mines, mostly in the northern part of California.
Is this near Reno?
It was near Reno, right? But it was a little bit more towards California. And so, I was just looking, and I could see this man seated, and, like sitting on a rock in a certain way. He had a hat on, and his hair was about shoulder length. And so I didn't think anything of it. I said, he looked up at me, and his eyes were all black. And so my friend said, hey, we should go visit Tahoe, which is Lake Tahoe is really known for its beautiful place. And so I said, sure, I'm open to whatever you want to do. And we drove around there. And she says, well, I want you to see this Viking house. There was a placard there that, describes, about the Viking house. And we got out of the car and went to look at it. And instead there was a picture of this miner, or this guy was actually a hermit. And it looked exactly like the guy that I saw, only he looked, like human. But the hairs, it was the same length. He was wearing the exact hat and even seated as I saw him in my vision. But they never found out how he died. He actually supposedly went over on this boat and never came up out of the lake. But meanwhile was planning, he knew that he was going to die, and started planning out what his tomb was going to look like, because he didn't want to ever leave Tahoe. And so then when he died, then of course, everything was already set for him. But to me, he looked like an immortal of some kind, or a time traveler, or some other species. I mean, who has black eyes like that? I mean, there's no whites in the eyes, it's just black all the way across.
That's weird.
Yeah, is that a species that you know?
Goo?
Yeah, what is that? And is he immortal?
Yeah, he is. But technically, tell me why they did these children. They were children. I mean, not hybrids or crossbreeds. And how they, from Monarch or in Monarch, how they were able to make him immortal, because of teleportation, by location. How?
I felt like he's been traveling through time before Monarch, but you do wonder if some of these beings
because technically I was able to kill him, and I was trying to kill him desperately, because they begged me for that they can't be killed, and I was using
the black-eyed children and black-eyed adults.
Yeah, I was able to use normal kind of gun. Just by the way, big as I am talking about like big boy gun, caliber 45, so huge gun, and they were like, the bullets went just through them, nothing at all. No, and that's the stuff. Once I tried to kill them, their eyes went completely black, and
so are they a species? Are they like from off-world, or is it?
Tell me. I don't know. You tell me.
To me, they've been here for a long time. That's my feeling, is that they're another species that are here, making themselves look like humans.
I did electric one. I did laser one. I did not electromagnetic one, laser one, plasmatic one. Nothing can kill them, and they were they stopped moving in the middle of the road, and they were how can I say that, they were how can I say that correctly, they were not doing any tricks or something. They were standing there. They were hit by a truck,
Yeah.
And
Peter, do you think that they're from our future? Because I get the impression that they've been in our future and are coming back.
Maybe, I don't know. So they were not tricking or something like that. And for example, of course, Victoria showed me, look at that, I can be hit by a truck. And I was like, what the fudge? What the fudge are you doing? And she was standing, the trucker was trying to stop, and she was running against him, and and nothing, not a single drop of the blood, nothing. And when truck went through her, She was smiling like crazy, you know, and I was like, you are psycho, you know. And this is the stuff. And she told me, the side effect of being addicted to Cortexyphan, you know. That's crazy,
Well,
isn't
she
it?
had to have been something else beyond the drug. The drug wouldn't
That's the
transform
problem.
them, would it?
That's the problem. I want to ask you
No, I
because
don't
I
think
don't
so.
know. I don't know. I don't know.
Then Victoria would have had to be one of these. I think that they've come back from the future, and they survived whatever happens in the future, and they're looking around to see what's going on, or maybe to stop it. But they're damaged in the process. That's what I think happened. The town that this happened was in Portola, California, which actually sounds like Portal, doesn't it?
Yeah, you are absolutely right. There
Yeah.
is big similarity, and that's the problem, that all kind of them have these. How can I say that? They are very unique in some stuff, and they are like these, also called agents of shield or league of extradition or something like that. And I was like, what? Oh no, you are not right. It can't be done just because of some sort of drug.
Yeah, no, no drug would transform
But do
the
you know
body in
what's
that
crazy?
way.
But do you know what's crazy? Every single sort, I mean race, alien race, crossbreed, hybrid, have DNA. Believe me or not, they have no DNA. Nothing.
Hmm.
Sounds
They
like it
they
was created by
they
the Anunnaki. Human DNA.
but that's the problem. They have no DNA. And I was like, what? Are you serious? And I go for a doctor and all kind of this stuff. And he was like, where did you get these samples from? There is no DNA. You know, that's crazy. What they are like, you know, what's the origin?
I think humans go through a natural
we only have a few-
transformation.
We only have a few more minutes here, Jessica. Could you wrap this question up?
I was just going to say that I think humans go through some kind of transformation that's natural. It's not like it's not like what Elon Musk is trying to do, or some of these others, but there's a natural transformation that happens that humans kind of evolve in another way. But that's it. I don't want to take up any more time.
One more question. Peter, someone saw me in a base in Korea, past tense. Do you have any information about that?
You mean in North Korea, right?
They just
That's
said
what I
Korea.
said. That's what I said. I said the same thing. Go ahead.
I asked Jessica the same question.
Yep.
This is not a question. It's some solid fact. It's North Korea.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that must be a clone, because I've been here in North Carolina as far as I can remember.
Yes, it's I mean, this is your clone, but technically you are not the original one, because your original one was fighting in during the war in Vietnam, you know, if you like it or not. And then you personally met with Carroll Shelby, and he gave you a car made by his own hand. Shelby Mustang GT 500. I'm not kidding you, because he was in some, how can I say that, decoration of veterans, you know, Purple Heart and all kind of stuff. Just by the way, Maxine Caulfield showed me that, and he was there too. Carroll Shelby was there too, and he gave you this kind of car, and this car was built, I don't want to say some crazy stuff, but 1964 or 5, something like that. And this was actual event, because I was there as an observer.
This is like very confusing. I'm assuming this was when I was James Martin Reelsberg.
Yep.
Okay, which apparently he died in '79, and then I came out soon after that. But
Yeah, you are right.
so he actually gave me a card, or are you suggesting a clone body?
No. He actually gave you a car. The car the Carroll Shelby made it with his own hands, not in the factory or something. It was handmade. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, and this guy is still alive. What's his name?
Carroll Shelby. No. He is gone, but the car still exists.
Where is it?
It still exists in by one very rich collector. It is owned by one very rich collector in living in Malibu in California.
You think you could hook me up with this collector? Maybe be interesting just to see it.
Definitely yes, because how can I say that in the history of owners, the name you mentioned is written there.
Well, I Googled that name on the internet. I couldn't find any traces. Is there a reason why?
Yeah, because yes, you are right.
They wiped it. They wiped that name off the internet.
Yeah,
Apparently.
you are right.
Do you
And
know
Jessica
why?
and Jessica went out.
Yeah, we're way over time. I wish I got so much more to go. And I just show the audience members. Here's all the questions. We only went through like 2 or 3 of them, but I guess we have to come back and do this again. Maybe next week. I will see.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Anything else you want to briefly comment about that?
I think that I am okay.
Well, what was I doing in North Korea? Just briefly.
Just briefly, espionage.
Huh?
Espionage.
Oh, espionage. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we probably don't need to say any more than that, considering what I was doing. All right. So, of course, Jessica, if you there, if not, I'll read your website. It's Jessica Readings by Ariel.com. Of course, I'll have the link for that. And thank you, Jessica, for joining us wherever you may be. I'm sure you have a good reason to video on right now. And thank you, Peter. Of course, Peter's website is peter-insider.com. Also, I encourage the users to continue drinking the mint tea. That will help the wisdomers rent, I guess, a piece of your subconscious mind, and in return will help you out with positive things in your life.
Yeah, you are right.
And also be sure to visit supersoldiertalk.com to learn more information, some of these videos here, and along with a lot of different links. And also be sure to subscribe to this channel. Hopefully YouTube won't pull it. If they do, I will have a backup channel at BitChute, and I will create another channel here on YouTube again. So, but just go ahead and subscribe. Let's just not putting energy into that. Okay, and also be sure to write any questions in the feedback area. We'll try to get to that. I mean, we really need to do more of these meetings. Maybe we can do them once a week more often, because I know, Peter, you're so busy.
Yeah, you are right.
And also be sure to visit neologicaltech.com to support the work that I do, so that I can continue making these videos. All right, so we're going to have to leave it at that. Any final comments, Peter?
No, we are okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Peter, and thank you, audience members, and thank you, Jessica. And until next time, bye-bye. Please consider supporting Super Soldier Talk by purchasing your own Neo Meditation device. Your Neo Meditation device will help you reduce stress, integrate trauma, enhance intuition, enhance clairvoyance, and enhance creativity. Get yours now at www.neologicaltech.com.